Viewer discretion advised. Not suitable for work. Propaganda culture with your co-host in crime, Nick and Layla. Warning, if you are highly sensitive, overly emotional, or easily triggered, do us all a favor and quietly tune out. No need ruining the good time of others simply because you are a beta or a bitch.
Propaganda, culture. Starting now.
Wow.
Okay, here we go. This thing is crazy. All right, we're gonna be starting in just 2 seconds. Let's get everybody's audio on and working because we are ready. We have a lot to talk about. There's some interesting developments. Not too much going on in the world right now. Luckily, things have been pretty chill. Pretty chill.
Not anybody parachuting into raves, taking old ladies and babies.
Oh
Nothing.
No. We can't start
Nothing
there.
like that.
Okay, here we go. All right, nice. So we're starting off. Okay, we got a lot to talk about. A lot to talk about. So, but first, I want to introduce. We all know Nick, obviously world famous from. What did we do? The first one was on the Illuminati mixtapes. I think that's the first one we did. That was really big. But today we have Julius. He is joining us from the Age of Men podcast that he and Nick host every Sunday. And
If I may say, I'm also coming from my Today with Julius page on YouTube. Go check it out. Great stuff.
exactly.
Shameless
I know.
self-promotion.
Are you, is the ban lifted? Are you no longer banned?
Yeah, so get this. A short story. I fought with YouTube on Twitter for days. They gave me back my page, but they took away my demonetization, and I cannot apply again until November 30th.
Oh God, that's terrible.
They
Ball busters.
took my money, thieves.
They took your
Lame.
money.
It's only hurting them in the long run, losers.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully, we won't. Hopefully, you won't make any misinformation or commit any crimes against, free speech, humanity.
No, that's why we're gonna bail out of YouTube like just when this show's getting good and gonna continue it over on Rumble. They're chasing the users right away.
Yeah, that's
Fact.
right. I should go ahead and put the link in the chat now because, yeah, we're only going to do 30 minutes on YouTube just to get everybody, in. But we have to, for the sake of censorship, we definitely have to switch to, YouTube. There's no way. There's no way we're going to, not YouTube, but we have to switch to Rumble. There's no way.
We have to switch from YouTube to YouTube because of your terrible, stupid business practices. Thank you very much for chasing us to your competition. We'll happily do that at the peak of the show.
So you can switch now if you want. We're running on Rumble right now. We're streaming.
I'd encourage it.
Yeah.
Fuck YouTube.
And that gets us banned.
I know.
Allegedly.
And we're banned.
Allegedly. I love you, YouTube. Don't hurt me, YouTube.
I'm coming for you. Okay, so let's get in. Now, I know that there hasn't been really anything going on in the world, like nothing big. So, we might not have much to talk about, but we do have time to check in on the southern border and see what might be going on down there. Because, there's always something interesting happening down there.
Because Joe Biden sure as shit ain't checking it. Somebody's got to go look.
I know.
Kamala hasn't been there since like forever. Last time she was there, she wasn't even there.
She's going to get her hair done. She's going to get her hair done and then, go check it out. But, you get distracted. You have a lot of things that you have to do. So I saw this tweet today. Let me post it. I saw this tweet today that seemed pretty interesting. Um, so this is a tweet, just a reminder for everybody that the United Nations and Red Cross allegedly is handing out invasion maps to military-aged men. See how they framed that tweet to just make it more accurate to what's happening? But yeah, so this is in the Darien Gap in Panama. This is a critical staging point where illegal aliens are given aid and instruction on how to reach the US illegally. And we can see here, let me zoom in. Let's zoom into this. The map detailing where they can go and how to get there, and, just to help them out because they need, they need
That
help
doesn't
and
look like a
instruction.
military map for
Well, they're lost.
military-aged men only.
They're
There's countless
lost.
videos of just
Yeah.
military-aged men showing up at the border. That's not an
Well,
invasion or anything.
well,
Come
well,
on.
Nick, they're lost. They can't find their way. They're trying to
Yeah,
find
and
the
they
bathroom.
apparently lost their wives and their little babies and everybody along the way too, except the military-aged men. That's fantastic.
Well, I mean, look, when you have to go to the bathroom, you got to ask somebody, "Hey, where's the nearest restroom?" Oh,
You're
here's
in
a map.
Mexico. Everywhere's the bathroom, my friend.
Here's a map. Go down here and take a left.
Wherever you piss is the bathroom, my friend. You're in Mexico.
Oh my God, it's so bad. But it's just insane. And I can't post it, but I can talk about it. Viral TV NYC, I think, is the Twitter account or the X account, sorry. And they were showing how the Salvation Army had paid for this guy to fly from California to New York and, just settle there. Like, why is the Salvation Army paying for that? Like, I can't actually post it because he copyrights everything. And he gets like really mad if you share his content without permission. But it was just a really weird, like, this is the thing, and we talk about this all the time. I feel like every time we do one of these shows, we talk about it. They're literally flying these people in. They're flying these people into Panama or Mexico or wherever. And then from there, they instruct them and give them guidance and tell them, here, this is where you go, this is what you do. It's very well organized, actually.
Yes, it's not by happenstance. It's definitely organized.
Yeah.
Yeah, it almost makes you wonder what the agenda is to allow all these people in. I mean, aside from the votes, what is it? Like, do they plan on having some kind of, civil war? I'm not trying to throw out any conspiracies. I'm just genuinely asking if all these people are coming
An
in.
invasion of that magnitude, what else could they be trying to do but take over? Aside from all the evidence to it, I mean, it's just self-evident. Why would they be populating it with all these freaking illegals of military-aged men? It's not like they're bringing in women and children.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to take over.
Question
Not on
is,
my watch, though. Good luck.
the question is, are Americans ready for that, though? Are we ready?
I'm ready. I'm real ready.
I mean, I'm not packing over here, so all I got is my
Julius,
butter.
you make your way to Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania by the time anything really hits the fan, and you'll be fine.
The only thing I have is a butter knife. I'm like, want to mess with me?
Get here, man. Do whatever you got to do. Cut some teeth with the butter knife. Get here.
Some
And
butter,
I got the
homie.
rest.
I can slice butter. I can slice you.
Oh my God.
Smooth as butter, Julius.
And that's why I'm single.
No, I don't think that's okay. I think we need to do better. We need to do better. But this border crisis, some people would say it's a border crisis. I say it's like, an expansion of our diversity. These are all good things. Bruce is in the chat says Julius is me.
He's the everyman.
There you go. Hey.
Oh my God. No,
But you know
it's
what?
just, yeah.
But you said that they're trying to diversify. So then doesn't that prove that America is not racist?
She's joking.
No, I know, but I mean, I'm being facetious.
Okay, right over my head.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah, I know.
It's been a long couple days. Bear with.
See, Layla, I'll follow you, but then Nick just kind of,
I'm the dense dummy as usual. Joke's on me.
Oh my gosh.
But you said the Salvation Army is flying guys from California to New York, and
Yeah.
my nose is on point anyway. I knew that was a freaking ruse too, a racket of some sort. Salvation Army in general, or in some ways, like that's not cool. I want to take my
It's
donations back.
it's
Mm.
ridiculous. Like the fact, like no one talks about that because, of course, conservative influencers can't talk about anything that's actually relevant or like would would address like the real problem, which is um why are all these organizations being like travel agents for illegal aliens? Like that makes no sense.
Yet veterans are unaliving themselves at over 15 a day, and they're not even
Well,
given food sometimes, a meal sometimes, let alone a plane ticket from one of the nicest parts of the country to the next. What?
well, they were probably not really being, they weren't being welcoming.
Yeah, I
They
think they
weren't.
fought for our freedom and everything.
No, I mean they shouldn't be. I mean, they have displaced actual homeless people in New York. There was an article actually. Oh, oops. I don't have it. But there's an article talking about how these kids in Chicago, their little like park recreation area where they go to change for their football games and stuff, that had to be taken away so that migrants can sleep in it. It's
I
like,
heard that. I thought that was in
Terrible.
Chicago.
yeah, that's in Chicago.
Okay,
Hmm.
yeah.
That's
I was
Layla's stomping grounds, Julius. Born,
wait,
Yeah.
what happened?
born there,
Oh, wow, okay.
or raised
Yeah,
there, or
and
something, right, Layla? I don't want to get
Yeah.
you
detailed.
you barely
Don't
heard
forget
about it.
Don't forget the
Oh, sorry.
homeless veterans are getting kicked out of the hotels for illegals as well. Yeah, of course. Like, stop being.
They're
Stop.
selling our country out, folks. This is a freaking treasonous thing. All this stuff is, you can't blame it on incompetence. Think about it.
No, this isn't
Homeless illegals
incompetence.
are getting precedent over the veterans that fought for us to have the freedoms of this country, for these illegals to illegally invade.
Yep.
They're
What is
asylum
happening?
seekers. That's dehumanizing to call them illegals. They're asylum seekers. They're
Okay,
seeking
let's
asylum.
run with their narrative of calling them asylum seekers. They'd have no asylum here to seek if it weren't for these veterans who risked their lives,
Yes,
lost
But
that's
but
friends.
true.
You
There
know,
but
would not be an asylum to seek. That's
but
true.
as you know, no immigrant is illegal. I mean, come
No
on.
person is illegal.
Oh, I'm
Hello.
sorry. No person. No
no, you know
people.
what? I want to make a clarification on that. Every immigrant in this country is more than welcome. All of our ancestors, we have that in common. We're immigrants in some ways. But you know what else we
Hmm.
have in common? Our ancestors all managed to do it legally. Okay?
Sometimes.
That's the difference. Now, maybe some did it legally, but eventually our family set us up somewhere legally, okay? That's the important part. You can't have illegals that are unregistered running around here. All kinds of criminals go to places that they're unregistered because
I mean,
you're basically like not on the radar.
listen. A wise man once said, "When Mexico sends its people, not sending their best, they're bringing crime, they're bringing drugs,
Who
No,
said
no,
that? Who
no,
said that?
no.
rapists, and some I assume are good people."
Dan, just
Don't.
do a good Trump.
You can't say that. No. So, yeah, I put the link in the chat to the Rumble feed. You can go join there because we're going to be getting off of here soon because,
Getting ready to
like,
fail
what's the
already.
point? What's the point? Like, really? You
Pull the
can't
plug.
say anything that's going to be illegal to say. That's going to be
It
mean.
was, it was the Trump
Sorry,
impression,
YouTube.
huh?
We love you. We didn't mean to cross you at all. We'll get out of here. We don't want any problems.
Yeah. Yeah.
We love you, Susan, on YouTube. We love you.
I
Eat
know.
wiener, YouTube.
All right.
Please,
So
please stand
so
up.
now that we're ready, because okay, so now that we broke the ice, we checked in on our southern border because like I mean, we're obviously like the worst people on earth to care about our southern border because we need to
Yeah.
talk about this propaganda. Here we go. Let's talk about Palestine and the media. Here we go.
Buckle
So
up.
I found this slide deck that was explaining what's happening. And it's really interesting. It's really, really interesting because so on the left, You know, we have people on the left saying, you know, it's not good. What's happening is not good. Very, like, actually accurate takes of a lot of the stuff, which is crazy because they're crossing all the narrative wires. Like, these people are going over here, these people are going over here. Everybody's like switching around and, you know, being tossed around. But they're switching around the narrative. And so it's really easy for people to stay entrenched on their side of like, oh, we're not going to support anything AOC says, so we're going to do the opposite. We can't hear that, you know, which is a good strategy for anyone who's trying to divide and conquer and control people, that no one's actually taking content in objectively. They're just staying on their team and they're doing whatever their team is saying. And, you know, they're explaining this. But on the left, they have some good takes. You know, they're not calling to turn certain places into glass.
The left are more reasonable in this scenario than the right that I've encountered. I'll be damned.
Yeah, and they're also, the left is not, the right is going more crazy about this than the left did about Ukraine, which is interesting. But anyway.
Good point. Hey, look, it says anal. It says anal.
Oh no. No. Okay, moving it. Stop. Why?
I couldn't stop looking at it.
Bruce, everybody's being tribal. So, but the thing that we have to understand is they also, the Marxists, because okay, they can't just say something and like walk away and be normal. You know, they have to go crazy with it. And they have this idea of decolonization, where they are trying to indoctrinate people to believe that somehow you're going to improve a situation when you're incredibly outgunned, incredibly outnumbered, you have no money, you have no supplies, no resources, anything. But somehow it's a move of a freedom fighter. It's like you're just being this freedom fighter because you're working against decolonization. Like you're being a terrorist, and decolonization is your reason. And that's, so they're starting to push that narrative, which is really dangerous because you can be against certain things. I'm going to censor myself. You can be against certain things, but decolonization, meaning random terrorist attacks, are not that's not the path forward. That's not at all. That's not the path
Especially
forward.
against the two most powerful military forces to have ever existed, Israel and the United States.
Literally. So they're running with this. Okay, so for this, they're saying for the first time since the violent disposition of the Palestinian land over 75 years ago, and for the first time since the imprisonment of 2 million Palestinians in an open-air prison 20 years ago, Palestinians have returned home. So they're pushing this like narrative as if they accomplished anything when they didn't at all. So they're trying to like tell these kids like, oh, look, progress. It's like, no.
Keep up the fight, yeah.
Yeah, no, don't do that.
Yeah. It keeps the youth who are following this to protest in the street as if they know what's going on, but have no clue what's going on.
Go run into the Iron Dome, young kids.
I know, seriously. Yeah. Throw yourself into the Iron Dome. Okay, so the response, the media and the global leaders have turned their backs on Palestine and vilified the resistance. For each difficult image of what decolonization looks like, see, now they're categorizing what happened, which is a terrorist attack, is decolonization. That's their new push, okay? Wow. There are thousands more of what settler colonialism looks like. And we know that they love the word colonialism and decolonization. They love all that stuff. Before they were just doing it in their minds. They were doing it in their minds. They were doing it in their makeup. They're doing it in the like gaining like 50 pounds to be against the colonial standard of beauty. Like they were all doing it as this passive sort of personal thing, and now they're turning it and they're co-opting this as this is actually decolonization now. This is the active form. Before there was the passive form, and now they're latching onto this and pushing the active form. There are 1,000 more of what settler colonialism looks like, what apartheid looks like, and what occupation looks like. Each one uglier than the last, which is true. The media is pretty biased. They only show like one side generally. But but not too often. But
But
generally, I mean, even Vice is like, yeah. Anyway, go ahead.
I was gonna say it's interesting to me because they hated I'm guessing it's like people of color who support this, and they hated the fact that the white man did this, but now because they're doing it, now they're okay with it. This is why I'm a firm believer in when you hate something, you become like what you hate. You hated the fact that the white man colonized America, but then yet here you are okay with doing the exact same thing. How are you any different than quote unquote white supremacy?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, they
They
are the
want
white
to.
supremacists according to you and Layla, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They want to
I'll
take
take.
back. They want to take back the land. So this is like really dangerous to be teaching people because all of these slide decks, all these little things, like people think, oh, it's just a slide deck. Who cares? No, this is how you train people and how they consume information. They're consuming small bits of information over and over and over again, and it's filling their brain.
Just like we did in school. Think about it when they would run the slides for us.
Yep. Yep.
Same brainwashing, same concept.
Yeah. And then they teach you things. They're actively teaching you. So they're giving examples of the bias in the media. And they're, giving their own thing. Mourns Israel, calls for peace. Americans' lives are valuable. Okay, so words are powerful. The way that violence is portrayed in the media is extremely influential. Israelis' proximity to whiteness. Ooh, here we go. Ooh.
Yeah,
Gotta
See?
force
representing the
whiteness.
whites. We're showing up.
Told you. I told
Which means actually capitalism. So they're a proximity to capitalism, because that's what it means in socialist speak.
Right.
Gives them an upper hand in a world still poisoned by white supremacy and anti-Muslim rhetoric, whether you are aware of it or not. Ooh, there we go. So yeah, they have to of course, because they're Marxists, they gotta co-opt something. They can't just be like, oh, this is wrong. People shouldn't be dying. They have to be like, no, now throw yourself into the Iron Dome. Here's your
Yeah.
justification.
Martyrdom.
So I think those are interesting. I think those are really interesting because they always have to tell you, sometimes they tell you two truths and a lie, that saying. They always have to mix it in so that you lose your discernment. And that's what I feel like is happening a lot.
It's like with my dogs or my parents' dogs. When I'm trying to give them medication, I mix it in with their food or peanut butter, and they swallow it down, don't even notice. Same concept.
Yeah.
Mix the
Yeah.
lies in with a bit of truth. Truth much to eat, and they'll never even notice they're eating the lie.
Exactly. It's pretty crazy. And Julius has been, this is definitely why I wanted him on. Julius has been on a rampage. If you don't follow Julius on Twitter, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know what you're doing. Julius is the covert operative of I fell out the chair. I just literally dropped the phone. 15 days to slow the war. I can't. The troll is next level.
He's really good. He's gotten the
Yeah.
attention of Lizzo, and basically almost got canceled into oblivion by her fans after that. He's on the radar of a lot of people.
I wrote that tweet because people were taking it so seriously. Fear Friday the 13th. I'm like, what, 15 days to slow the war? I'm like, stay in your homes, don't go anywhere. Sound familiar? 2020 ring a bell? I'm like, why is nobody lighthearting this thing? Everybody's freaking out. They're gonna kill us all. I'm like, jeez. It's like I was watching T2 Judgment Day. They're gonna kill us all.
Well, you know what I heard? They're sending out these fear messages to a friend of mine that lives in Texas, and I don't quote me on verbatim, but it said something along the lines of, warning, please remain indoors unless it's an emergency for the next time period. And if you do have to go out, stay vigilant of potential threats that could result from this conflict in Israel. Literally, in Texas.
Hold on, Nick. You just gave me something to think about. Layla, Nick. What if that
Layla,
whole
we're blowing
emergency?
Julius's mind tonight. You've done it to me before.
The thing about the emergency alert we just had recently.
Bingo, bro. Something like that. That's what my mind's been. I haven't said a thing, but Julius, that's what I'm trying to put the dots
Think
together
about
on.
that,
Bet
right?
there's a connection.
They were testing it for a reason. What if? And
No,
this is
no,
very
no.
impossible. But I'm just saying, what if
The
Friday
timing is
comes
quite
and then
suspicious.
and then our phone go off. This is a test. Jihad is coming.
This is not a test. Israel is now your bosses.
Oh my God! Now,
Stay in your doors.
Yeah, right.
Lock your doors. Jihad is
Israel
coming.
is now your outright declared bosses. We've been for quite some time, but now we're coming out to tell you.
Hey, every ice cream truck is gonna be suspicious as of the ice cream truck. They're gonna be suspicious.
Ooh.
No one's gonna buy ice cream that day.
you see
Okay.
like a gloved hand handing out the ice cream cone, being like, "Bro,
Now,
What's
I'm
this
really
powder on
excited
your
to get into my
fingers?
take on Israel Hamas situation now. And Julius, I'm so glad that you validated for me. You confirmed exactly what I called, like what was it, yesterday or 2 days ago? Like, I'm not going to tell you folks on YouTube because they're so lame that they couldn't handle it. But we're going to get into it on Rumble, and I can't wait.
Yeah.
yeah, hold
Some
that
hot
thought.
takes you haven't heard anywhere else. I'll guarantee that from the three
Hold
of
that
us.
thought. Hold that thought."
I'm
Okay,
bursting
we
at
got
the
the
seams.
next. We got the next one. This one, yeah, and just like that, I was listening. I was like hearing there's a show just like that with Sarah Jessica Parker, and just like that, the right went from save the children to okaying bombing the hell out of them. It's like what the hell?
Just like that.
And just
Ta-da.
like that. I
So
said I
true, though.
tweeted too. I was like, we should tell them that they're like trying to hand out post birth abortions, and they'll
I
like
love that.
be
I
rioting.
love that tweet. I said I'm retweeting now, and that was
That's
fire. I
brilliant,
love
Layla.
that tweet.
But yeah,
Brilliant.
it makes sense, you know. It makes sense.
No, your
You
other one
know,
was great too. When you said about the we should tell Republicans that it's a drag queen. Maybe they're going to say the children.
Then they'll be really worked up.
Like, yes,
they
we
might
gotta
see.
start doing that.
I know, because that's what you have to do at this point. It's like when you have people like literally, going this off the rocker, you just have to be like, whoa, 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 whoa. And what's that guy? There's a guy, oh, that's like a Rumble post for sure. One of the dudes from InfoWars, he was like, he posted a really controversial tweet. I'll save it for Rumble because it's too it got deleted. Like the tweet he was responding to had to get deleted. It was that bad. So I'll just save that for a second. But it's
Hey guys,
crazy.
click the Rumble link now. Get over there. Follow Layla on there. And I would start watching over there now. No sense in staying here, but you're going to get a lot of the good stuff over there. Nothing over here in comparison.
Go to rumble.com right now. Click on it. The link should be in the chat. So do go to Rumble. It's going to be a lot more juicier. But make sure you guys like and share this video. Support Propaganda Fluent. This is a great YouTube channel. And also support C3 Nick. Don't forget C3 Nick has a lot of great stuff. Very on par with Propaganda Fluent. One and the same. With great content. So go check out C3 Nick and do all the good stuff.
When
like,
we
share,
combine,
subscribe,
we
comment.
become propaganda culture.
I know, that's literally what it is. It's
like a
what it is.
superhero transformer coming together to make. Yeah, Captain Planet. When we put our rings together. Propaganda culture, fighting the tyrants and the elitists, one climate change crisis at a time.
I know, one crisis at a time. And then this last one, before we jump over to Rumble in a minute, and just like that, we stopped talking about the problems in America: abortion, LGBTQ agenda in schools, homelessness, crime, inflation, COVID agenda. I like how you put the COVID agenda there because it hasn't gone away from me either. My pettiness and my resentment will last forever. I will not forget. Except everybody forgot about it. They're like, oh, it doesn't matter.
With that tweet, that last one, I was like, I actually had something else, and I was like, no, COVID agenda. But I was like, are we still talking about that? I was like, no, we are. Like, put it. I forgot what else I had. Yeah, it definitely still needs to be there. But
well, you know why they want to forget about it, Layla?
Hmm?
Go ahead, Luis.
Oh no, I was gonna say someone commented and was like, "Oh, it's only been a few days, so let the war sink in." I was like, "Bro, nobody's talking about it now. It's been a couple days and no one's talking about it.
Yeah.
So what are you talking about? Like, it's sunk in for all of us."
It's sunk in. It's
Well,
done.
they want to
Like,
forget about it because they want to save face and not admit that they were wrong, and God forbid, apologize for the egregious things that they tried to force some of us to do, and some
oh
people did
yeah.
do because of
Mm-hmm.
it. They don't want
Yeah.
to
Can I
own
just
up to that and be adults
can I just
because it's
mention real quick?
egregious and they know it.
Yeah.
I mentioned this earlier, but I want to say this out loud now. There is a woman that got on me because I shared a video. I'm not gonna say here. I'll save it for Rumble. But she took my video and tried to tell her audience to unfollow me. Then we talked back and forth, and she's like, "You know what? I'm gonna take the video down because my opinion can be wrong." Cause I gave her the
Wow.
facts. I said, "Listen, I'm trying to tell people the facts, what's going on. I don't condone any of this stuff, but we're being misled." And she
Mm-hmm.
understood that and took that video down. So I get most men not care, but talk to him one on one, they'll know that, oh, he's not a bad guy. He just wants the truth. Simple
Bro,
as
Yeah.
that.
Joyce is one of the most decent people I know. Like, he's very sincere, genuine, nice person. And it's so funny to me that he's often the most wanted man on the internet somehow.
Man,
Yeah.
it's been that way since 2021, it seems like. 2
It's
years.
not.
Yeah,
Still
It's
wanted.
not
I've been telling you
okay.
that.
I think people are in denial. The implications are pretty heavy. I agree. People are. It's hard.
So true.
But I think this quote, just to tease everybody with a little bit of the dehumanization part that we're going to get into, whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process he does not become a monster. And I thought that was a really good quote and very appropriate because that goes in line with dehumanization. Because whenever let's take a step back, whenever I see people dehumanizing, huge groups of people. Like, don't get me wrong, I dehumanize individuals all the time. I'm like, they're,
You
but
love it.
just, yeah, but just like huge groups of people, children, elderly, whatever. I'm just sort of like, that's not gonna end well. That's something bad's about to happen. And you have to realize that dehumanization is a super critical part of carrying out any type of atrocity because it helps you get rid of your empathy. Because that's why during a certain time period, they had a certain group called the SS. They had to get them because the regular people were getting mentally disturbed from having to commit atrocities. So they were like,
Yeah.
okay, we'll hire this like elite group. But
These disturbed individuals who like to do disturbing things to people.
who can do it. But atrocities throughout history, genocides, murders, incarcerations, whatever. This is also from a socialist page. We need to do like a whole thing that's not littered with socialism.
Slaves were put in masks to dehumanize them.
Yeah.
Because you can't see somebody's face, you can't empathize with them. Eventually, you stop thinking of them as humans.
Large groups of people have only been possible through the dehumanization of its victims, the gradual and widespread adoption of the view that people are less than human. Words, like images, are an essential tool in the dehumanization process. When people are described as rats, as an infestation, as not aliens, that's an accurate thing to call them aliens, poison, roaches, I've heard, like all sorts of nasty things as a scourge. When people are labeled monsters, it becomes pretty easy over time to think of them as inhuman, as not like us, and therefore, do whatever you want. It's a big deal. They're not even human, right?
Yeah.
Right?
Exterminate them.
Yeah.
Like
exactly.
rodents.
Exactly. So I'm going to go ahead now and end the... I'm going to end the
YouTube.
actual stream. Yeah.
Exterminate him, got him.
Go to
I'm
Rumble.
gonna, yeah,
Go
I'm
to
gonna.
Rumble, everybody.
So yeah, join us over at Rumble. We're gonna continue the conversation because this is not going to go well if we stay on YouTube. All right, see you guys over at Rumble. The link is pinned. And you can just search Propaganda Fluent.
Gotta get
on
over there.
Rumble.